Good morning, guys. In the last session, we discussed about what is IAM service in the AWS cloud and why we need to go for IAM service. So IAM stands for Identity and Access Management in the AWS, which is used to manage users, groups, and permissions for those users and roles also. Right. In the AWS cloud, we have two types of accounts. One is called root account. Second one is called IAM account. So root account is a powerful account. We can access everything in the AWS cloud once we log in into AWS cloud platform with the root account. But root account we should not use for our daily activities. Once we join in the team, company will provide the IAM account for the team members. So IAM account nothing but the account with limited permissions, right? So for every team member, IAM account only will be provided. Yesterday we have seen how to create that IAM account and how to manage the permissions for the IAM account. And the next one, we discussed about what is console access and what is programmatic access. Can anyone tell me the difference between console access and programmatic access, guys? Can anyone tell me the difference between AWS console access and programmatic access?
Console access through user ID and password. Programmatic access will use through generated password and
console access nothing but we will connect with the AWS cloud through the browser. Yeah, we will go to the console, we will go to the browser. From the browser, we will log in into AWS cloud account with our email ID and password or with our username and password. Whereas programmatic access nothing but if you want to connect with the AWS cloud by using Terraform or by using CLI or by using Java projects, then we need programmatic access. When we go for programmatic access, secret key and access key will be generated. Okay. Then after we discussed about AWS S3. Can anyone tell me what is the purpose of S3 service in the AWS? Can anyone tell me what is the purpose of S3 service in the AWS?
S3 means simple storage.
It is used to store objects logically.
Yes. So S3 nothing but S3 stands for simple storage service, which is used to store unlimited data in the AWS cloud. Okay.
binary
So
data.
basically, this S3 is used to store binary data in the cloud. When we are dealing with the application development, our application will have the data, and the data will be divided into two types. So text data will be available, binary data will be available. So binary data we are going to store in the S3, text data we are going to store in the database, right? So here, for example, yesterday I have shown you in the Amazon Prime, in the Netflix, so many movies will be available. Movie file is a binary data and movie information is a text data. Text data will be stored in the database and movie will be stored into the S3 bucket. When we store that movie into S3 bucket, okay, so that movie, that whatever we are storing in the S3 bucket, which is called as object. So in the S3 service, we are going to create the bucket. In the S3 service, we are going to create a bucket. Inside the bucket, objects will be available. So in the bucket, we are going to store the object. Object nothing but a file. Object nothing but a file. When we upload the object in the S3, it will generate one URL. That URL we are going to store into our database. All right. So I have given one assignment also to develop one Spring Boot application. In that application, you need to take the course data, the name, duration, price, and image. Image should go to S3 bucket. Image URL we need to store in the database table. Anybody able to complete this task?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's completed?
Yes, completed.
Completed. Very good. Good job.
Sir, I am landing with one of the issues, sir. Working on it actually.
Sure, sir. Fine. Okay. Next one. In the S3, there is a one facility available, guys. So that is hosting static website by using S3. Okay. So if you have some static website, that means what is the meaning of static website? the website which contains static web pages. Static website hosting using S3. Website means collection of web pages. Website means collection of web pages, right? Now, websites are divided into two types, guys. Websites are divided into two types. One is called static website and another one is called dynamic website. One is called static website, another one is called dynamic website. Okay, static website will give same response for all the users. Static website will give same response for all users. Dynamic website will give the response based on the user. Okay, so static website will give same response for all users, whereas dynamic website will give response based on user. Response based on the user. Static website hosting by using S3. Website means collection of web pages. Websites are divided into two types, guys. One is called static website, another one is called dynamic website. Static website will give same response for all users, whereas dynamic website will give response based on the user. Now here we can host static website by using S3. So if you have some HTML files for your website, so HTML is used to develop the static websites. It is used to develop the static websites. So when you have that static website, then you can, when you have the static website, you can host that by using right? So when you have a static website, you can host that static website by using S3, right? Website means collection of web pages. Those websites are divided into two types. One is called static website, another one is called dynamic website. Static website will give the same response for all the users, whereas dynamic website will give response based on the user. I want to host one static website. Simple example, you can create some dummy HTML pages. You can create some dummy HTML pages and you can host that as a static website. Okay, so let me go here and I'm creating some folder, something like a website. So inside the website, I'm creating a file which is a new text document. One file I'm creating with the name called index.html. Right, index.html file I'm creating. Inside this file, you can write some HTML tags for your website. Whatever the tags are required, you can write something like this HTML. Okay, then close that HTML. The next one we are going to write some head tag. Okay, then we are going to write some body tag. Right here you can write some data. H1, welcome to Ashok IT. This is just one HTML page which I am using to display a message. This page I have created with the name index.html. Save this page. Okay. The next one, I'm going to create one more page that is error.html. I'm creating one more page with the name called error.html. So what is the purpose of this error.html? When some problem occur in the website, then I want to display some error message to the user. So here I'm displaying a message, some problem occurred. Some problem occurred. Save that file. So with this, I have two files. So let me open index.html in the browser, open with Chrome. Okay, I'm using index.html with open with Chrome. So I'm able to access this website. But currently, who can access this website, guys? Anybody can access my website?
No.
Anybody can access my website? Only I can access my website.
Only one is the access.
Who can access my website now? Who can access my website?
Wrote the code that one person only
Okay,
access.
only one person can access that website because this website is running in my local now. This website is running in my local now. So only I can access this website. Only I can access this website. can I give this website URL for you to access, or I cannot give this URL for the access?
Cannot give.
I cannot give this URL for you to access because this website is running in my local. This website is running in my local. Now I want to make this website as a public. I want to make this website as a public. So that's where we can use S3 for hosting one static website. Okay, fine. So website means collection of web pages. The websites are divided into two types. One is called static website, another one is called dynamic website. Static website will give same response for all the users. Dynamic website will give the response based on the user. All right. Now, so how to host a static website? The first step one, create S3 bucket. Create S3 bucket. What is the meaning of a bucket, guys? What is the meaning of a bucket in the S3?
Collection of
Storage, sir.
Yes, collection of objects. S3, nothing but a collection of bucket, nothing but collection of objects. You can create multiple buckets. In one bucket, we can upload multiple objects also. We can create one bucket and we can store multiple objects in that bucket. You got my point. So create S3 bucket. When we are creating in the S3 bucket, we need to enable ACL for that. We need to enable ACL for that, and we need to allow the public access for that. We need to allow the public access for that. That is the step one. One bucket we need to create. Then go to step two. In the step two, upload website files. So whatever the files that we are available in the website, upload website files, index.html and error.html files as objects in the bucket. Whatever your website files available, we need to upload them as objects in bucket. All right. Then for these objects, grant public read access. Whatever the objects we are uploading, for them, grant public read access so that people can access. So we are going to create a bucket. In that bucket, we are going to upload the files. Then step three, when it comes to the step three, we are going to enable static website hosting. We are going to enable static website hosting. So how to host the static website hosting? Go to your bucket. In that bucket, go to properties section, then go to static website hosting concept. Then go to static website hosting concept in your bucket. All right. So once you enable that, then we can go and access our website by using URL. One URL will be generated. For that URL, we are going to use this access website URL. So this is the procedure. If we follow this procedure, then we can host a static website by using S3. Can you guys read these steps? Can you guys read these steps? Create S3 bucket, enable ACL, allow the public read access, okay? Upload website files as objects in the bucket, then grant public read access, okay? Then enable static website hosting. Once you enable the static website hosting, the website URL will be generated. We can access that website by using its URL. We can access the website by using its URL. So let me do this process now. Let me go here and let me open S3 service, simple storage service, which is scalable. Any amount of data you can store by using S3 service in the AWS cloud. Any amount of data you can store in the S3 service. Okay. Now, so let me go to S3, go to the buckets concept in the S3. Let me go to buckets concept in the S3. Currently no buckets available, I have deleted. Click on create bucket. Click on create bucket. Bucket name, I'm using Ashok IT website 001, something like this. Any unique name I should give. ACLs enabled. Give the public access. Okay. Then click on create bucket. Right. Confirm this selection and click on create bucket. So with this, my bucket got created. So then go inside this bucket. Let me upload the objects. Currently no objects are available. Click on upload the objects. There are two files available. Click on add files. Select the add files option. So you select these files which are available in your system. I have taken two files. So here in the classes, 27 JRTP website, index.html and error.html, two files available. I have selected these two files. Select these two files. Permissions, as I discussed, grant public read access for these files. We are going to provide grant public read access for these files. Select them and click on upload. So with this, my two objects uploaded, index.html and error.html. Then step 2 is also completed. Step 2 completed. A bucket created, files uploaded. Then the step 3, which is important, enable website hosting. Go to properties of your bucket. So in which bucket your website files are available, go to that bucket properties. In the bucket properties, in the last, you can see one option, static website hosting. By default, static website hosting is disabled. Okay, when you click on edit option, there is an option called enable option. So when you enable, it is asking what is the home page of your website. The index.html is the home page. What is the error page of your website, which is error.html. Index.html and error.html is available. Click on save changes. Click on save changes. Fine. Once we enable static website hosting, it has generated one website URL here. Copy that URL and access our website. Now it is public. Okay. So this is my website URL. With this URL, anybody can access my website. This is static website hosting concept in the S3. This is static website hosting concept in the S3.
Ashok, I think how we can make it secure by adding
For
in.
secure, then we need to go with the domains. We'll come to the next concept.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Are you guys able to access my website now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now I want you people to do this and send me your website URL. I'm giving you 5 minutes of time. I want you people to
Okay.
complete static website hosting now. I want you to complete static website hosting now. Are you guys doing that process?
Yes, sir. Just 2 minutes, sir. We
Yes,
will.
yes.
Uploaded. Sir, Ashok, sir.
Yes, sir, tell me.
Sir, step to grant public access in the sense,
Whenever you are uploading the files, the permission section will be available.
okay.
Yeah, Ashok, it is done. I shared the URL in the chat.
Okay, I will check that. Yeah, Kannan, I'm trying to access your, yes, I'm able to access your URL. It's working, Kannan. Janardhan.
Okay.
Good job.
For granted permissions, then
Purnachandra,
Yeah, Ashok, we are getting only the index one error.
if you make some mistake, if you access some invalid URL, then error.html will come.
Okay, okay.
You can type something in the URL, some wrong thing in the URL, then, so I will show you. So this is my website URL. Suppose if I try to access something here, then it will load error.html. Some problem occurred. If you access some URL which is not available in the website, then it will give you that problem.
Okay.
Yeah, Rakesh Sur, I'm able to access your URL. Sachin Singhar, Sachin Singhar, yes, I'm able to access your URL also. Ravindra Devar Shetty, yes, I'm able to access your URL.
So Ashok, actually, in the real-time scenario, so instead of using the web server, we can do all the activities in the S3 bucket, right?
So this is only for static website. When your website is having only HTML pages, then you can do this. If your website is having a dynamic something like Java, if you use to develop the website, then you can't use S3 for that.
Yeah, okay.
Data.
Ashok, can you show me the steps? Sorry.
Guys, see this one. See these steps now.
Sir, I have sent you the link. Could you please check?
Sir, hosting static website, is it free or
Guys, are you able to complete this process?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
With this, we understood what is static website hosting in the S3. So
sir,
very
static
simple.
website hosting is it free or paid?
So up to 5 GB data, it is free, sir. If you store more than that, it is paid. Okay.
Sir, one doubt actually.
Yeah.
Sir, can we make existing bucket as a static web hosting? Can we
Yes, sir.
utilize
You can do that
existing
also.
bucket?
If you have the bucket already, you just need to go to that bucket. Whatever the bucket that you have, you just go to that bucket, and in that bucket, you upload the website files, whatever you have. Then you go
Okay.
to the properties part. In the properties, we have a option called static website hosting option. You click on edit.
Okay.
You select the index file, error file, and you click on the save changes. Then the URL
Existing
will be
one we can
generated.
use.
You can access that. Now, when I access the URL, I'm getting my index.html page. When I type something wrong in the URL, for example, /login, I'm typing, but actually there is no login page available. So when you access some invalid URL, then error.html page will be loaded.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, perfect. So with this, we completed our discussion related to S3. S3 is one of the famous service in the AWS, which is used for storage purpose, unlimited storage. So in the real time, where we will use S3 also, I had discussed in the last session, and I gave one task also related to that. I'm waiting for the remaining people also to do some research and
Sir.
development and complete the task at least by today.
Ashok, sir.
Yes.
I have been facing one farm related multi-part issue, sir.
Okay, sir, we'll discuss on that. Sir, you do some research. If you are not able to resolve, then
Yeah.
tomorrow I will help you. Okay,
Yeah.
good, perfect. Now, guys, if you observe, our website is accessible. But can you see any problem with this website now? Can you see
URL.
any
We can't
problem with
understand
this
the URL.
website now? Is there any problem with the website, or there is no problem with the website?
Website with URL.
There is a problem with the website URL. What is the problem with the website URL?
Users cannot
This
not able to
URL,
understand.
this URL is very lengthy URL. Whatever the URL we have, this URL is very lengthy URL. So is it recommended to give this much big URL for the people to access our website?
No, it's really hard to
But this is not a recommended URL for our application. People cannot remember this much big URLs. These URLs are not user friendly. This URL is not readable. Okay, so we need to provide a beautiful domain for our application. We need to provide a beautiful domain for our application. So how to do the domain mapping for our project? How to do the domain mapping for our project? So here my website is running. Okay, my website is running in the S3 service only. Okay, fine. This is a static website. Now static website is running in the S3. Now customers are accessing our website from the client system, from the browser. Customers want to access. Okay, so S3 URL is available, which is very lengthy URL. S3 URL is available, which is very lengthy URL. It is not recommended to give this much lengthy URL to our website. So that's where what we are going to do, we are going to create one domain for the application, and that domain we will map to our website. Okay, so here we need to register one domain for our application. How we will register our domain? Something like this: www.ashokit.com. Okay, I want to map my website to this domain name, www.ashokit.com. From the browser, when you access this domain, from this domain we should go to our website. Website is having a lengthy URL. So to map the website lengthy URL to this beautiful URL, one service comes into picture. That service is called as Route 53 service. Okay, in the AWS, there is a service available. That service name is Route 53. This is called DNS service in the AWS cloud. Route 53 is a DNS service available in the AWS cloud. So when user access our application by using the domain, from that domain we need to redirect the request to actual website URL. So for the website currently, one lengthy URL is available. For the website currently, one lengthy URL is available. So this is the URL of my actual website. But if I give this URL to the people, people will not like my URL and people cannot remember my URL. So that's why what we need to do, we are going to do the domain mapping for our applications. We are going to do the domain mapping for our application. To do the domain mapping for the applications, we are going to use a service called Route 53 service. What is this Route 53 service in the AWS? Route 53 is a DNS service available in the AWS cloud. Route 53 is a DNS service available in the AWS cloud. This DNS stands for Domain Name System, which DNS runs on the port number 53. DNS runs on port number 53. That's why this service name they have given as Route 53. So Route 53 is a DNS service available in the AWS cloud. And this DNS stands for Domain Name System. DNS runs on the port number 53. That's why people will call it as Route 53 service. It is used to map our application with the domain name. So what is the purpose of this DNS service? It is used to map our application with the domain name. So DNS service we are going to use. We will purchase one domain for the website, any website that you want to host for the public access. You purchase one domain for your website. That domain you map to your website lengthy URL. So customers will access the website by using the domain name. Then the domain name will forward the request to actual website URL. So that's where DNS mapping comes into picture. So that's to do the DNS mapping, we are going to use a service called Route 53 service in the AWS cloud. So what is the meaning of Route 53? Route 53 is a DNS service in the AWS cloud. DNS stands for domain name system. That DNS runs on the port number 53. It is used to map our application with the domain name. So now you see, let's example, so www.gmail.com is available. Okay, and similarly we have www.facebook.com is available. Okay, gmail.com, facebook.com is available, www.naukri.com is available. Like this, there are so many websites are there, beautiful URLs available for those websites. Those beautiful URLs we are accessing, those are called as domain names. So when we access this URL, how the application is getting accessible, their website is available, that their dynamic website or static website, their website is available. For their website, a lengthy URL or a IP address will be available to access the website. But we are not giving that lengthy URL to the customers. We are giving beautiful domain name to the customer. Then what we need to do? So to the domain, we need to map this URL. When a request comes to the domain will redirect the request to the website. So between the domain and website, Route 53 service will be available, which is used to route the request to our application. When a request comes to the domain, that request should be routed to our application URL. So for that, we are going to use Route 53 service in the AWS cloud. So what is the procedure to do the domain mapping? What is the procedure to do the domain mapping? Route 53 lab task. Route 53 lab task. Okay, the very first thing we need to do in the Route 53, purchase a domain. Okay, so check domain availability. Check domain availability and purchase it. Pay the domain amount. Pay the amount for domain registration. Okay, check the domain availability and purchase it. Pay the amount for domain purchase. So here, whatever the domain you want for your website, first you need to purchase that domain, right? You need to check that the domain is available or not. So if the domain is available, you place the order for the domain, then you pay amount for the domain purchase. So how to check the domains here? Go to AWS, type Route 53. Okay, search for a service called Route 53, scalable DNS and domain name registration service. So which is a scalable DNS and domain name registration service? Go to Route 53. Go to Route 53. Then here you can check for the domains. In the Route 53, registered domains option is available. When you go to Route 53 service, you can see the domain section. In that you can see one option, registered domains. Open that registered domains option. Currently in this account, we don't have any domains purchased. Currently in this account, we don't have any domains that we have purchased, no domains to display. We don't have any domains to display. Now I want to register a domain. That means I want to purchase a new domain. Click on register a domain, search for the domain that you want. For example, I want a domain for my gym world. I want to purchase a domain with a name called my gym world. Click on search. So here it is giving the search results. mygymworld.com is not available. So that means somebody already purchased the domain. So with a different extension, I have it. mygymworld.info available. So for this domain, the price per year, so mygymworld.io, $71 per year. So gymworld.net, $15 per year. gymworld.info, $25 per year. So like this, for the domains, mygymworldacademy.com, $14 per year. Like this. So here, if you use a .com, then the prices are high. Just if I give my gym world, it can we have any extension. Extension is not important for me. .io, .org, .net, .info, .co.info, something like this. So if you want with any different extension also, you can find out the domains. All right. Okay. So mygymwall.com domain name and TLD must be separated by dot. Mygymwall.com. So the .com is not available. Different domains available. There is a extension called .link extension is available. When you go for the .link extension, the domain is available for $5. Okay. So the domain charges. First, you need to choose what is the domain you want for your project, and for that domain, what is the extension you want. What is the domain you want, and what is the extension you want. What is the domain you want, and what is the extension you want for the domain. Based on that, you need to search for them. Based on that, you need to search for that. Are you guys able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right now, so the least domain that we can purchase in the AWS Route 53 with the .link extension, when you go with the .link extension, the price that we are going to get for $5 per year. Okay, so for example, I want to go with this domain. Click on the select option, proceed to checkout. We need to pay the money for the domain purchase. It is not free of cost. Click on proceed to checkout. So this domain, 1 year, if you want $5, you need to pay. For 10 years, if you take $50, you can pay. So how many years you want to register the domain, you can select the period for that. Click on next. It will ask all your details. Then you need to click on this information. You need to provide all the data, and you need to purchase the domain. Once you purchase this domain, bill will be generated. You need to go to this billing and cost management. Once you place the order, the bill will be generated. You need to go to the billing console. There you need to do the invoice will be generated. Okay, the payments option will be available. As part of the payments option, you need to do the bill payment. You need to do the bill payment.
Yeah, Ashok,
You need
this
to do
initially,
the bill payment. Yes.
yeah, initially it will take all the $5 in the next month billing, or it will take, I
No,
think,
immediately you have to pay. If you do that normal resources bill is different, this domain bill is different. So the bill
immediately you
will
have
be
to pay.
generated for the domain, that is invoice will be generated. You have to pay immediately. Once your payment is completed, then only your domain will be activated.
Okay, okay.
You got my point?
Yes, yes, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Right. So like this, the billing process will be available, guys. So you need, I'm not purchasing any domain here. So you can choose the domain, you can fill all your details, and you can place the order. Once you place the order, the domain bill will be generated here. Immediately, you need to do the payment. Once your payment is completed, then bill that domain get activated. Mostly it will be activated within 30 minutes of time. Sometimes maximum they will take 24 hours of time to activate your domain. Check the domain availability and place the order. Then pay the amount for the domain purchase. Once the payment is completed, then our domain gets activated. Once the payment is completed, then our domain gets activated. Okay, so here the least domain that we can purchase in the AWS, so the domain price will change based on the domain extension. Okay, the least domain that you can purchase in the AWS is for $5. Okay, so the domain price changes. The domain price changes based on domain extension. Okay, so for .com, one price will be available. So .link extension, .link, which is $5 least price. If you go for a .com, some price will be there. .in, some price will be available. .org, .info, .net, something like this. Okay, so pay the amount for domain purchase. Once the payment is completed, then our domain gets activated. Once the payment is completed, then our domain gets activated. So once the domain is activated, then map the domain to our application URL. Map application URL to domain name. Once the domain is activated, map the application to our domain name. Then access our application using domain name. Access the application using domain name. So this is the procedure, guys. So the domain mapping here, now I am not going to purchase a new domain. So already I have done the domain mapping to my URL by using this video. Can you guys go through this video now? It is just 3 minutes video only, guys. I'm giving the video URL in the chat box. I will pass the class for 5 minutes of time. You just go through the video and let me know what you understood from that video. Can you guys watch that video now? In that video, I have purchased a domain. I have mapped the domain to application, and we are able to access our application by using domain name. Just to play that video and watch that video for 3 minutes of time. Then we will come back to the class. Come on, start it.
Yeah, sure. I went through the video.
Done, sir.
Guys, all of you watched that video.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
Yes, sir.
What you understood? What you understood from that video, guys?
While we hosting from the website from the S3 bucket, we need to specify that bucket name should be same as the domain name.
Yes, bucket name should be same as the domain name. Then we can do the hosting. Okay. So you understand how the domain mapping is completed there? Are you able to see the domain mapping there?
Yes, yes.
So you understand what is the domain mapping and how to do the domain mapping in the project. And here, who will do this domain mapping, guys? Is it a developer duty?
Infra
Focus on
team, right?
It-
Infra team.
Infra
Infra
will.
team.
Infra team. But 99% of the developers don't know how the projects will be mapped to the domain name in the real time. This is the process. So there is a service called Route 53 service is available. By using that Route 53 service, we can map our websites to the domain name. So currently this is S3 website. So a lengthy URL is available. We are mapping to the domain. So tomorrow, when we deploy our Java project in a Linux machine, one IP address will be available. So currently the domain we are mapping to the S3 URL. So in future, when I deploy my Java application, so that Java application will be running in the Linux machine. So the Linux machine IP address we will map to the domain name. Okay, same process. So currently I am mapping to the S3 URL. In future, our application will be running on the Linux machine. That Linux machine IP address, the Linux machine public IP will be available, right? That public IP address we can map to the domain name. So I hope you got the clarity. What is domain mapping and how the domain mapping will happen in the real time. So all of you give me a like for that video and comment your opinion on that video. If you like it, YouTube will promote our videos to many people who are looking for such kind of topic in the YouTube channels.
Okay, sure, sure.
Just
So,
give me a like for
yeah,
that video and comment on that, sir.
one clarification. So
Yes,
if
sir.
you're purchasing one domain and we are
Yeah.
mapping to the S3 link, right?
Yeah.
So I saw that we can add more other website also, right? We having one S3 and we are having some other IP address. Is it possible to put a slash and we can map?
Yes, sir. You can do that. Subdomains also you can do. If you
So,
purchase one main domain, then you can do the subdomaining also.
so we can have 4 to 5 websites and we can use the same thing, like.
Yeah, same.
So
You can map, suppose for example, ashokit.com is available. I can use classes.ashokit.com, trainings.ashokit.com, students.ashokit.com. Like that, you can map any number of subdomains under one main domain.
under subdom. So if we hit ashokit.com, so we can have some, I think only one default website,
Yes, the
right?
default website will be there. Yeah, different URLs, so
Will be
you
there.
can access them separately.
Okay. So instead of same subdomain, can we use, I think multiple websites, I think different websites if we can, I think
Yes, sir, that is what. So when you have a subdomain, you can use it to map with any website that you have.
any website, but we have to have only one default thing because if users sit directly ashokit.com, it'll take to only one default.
Correct.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yes, all of you like that video in the YouTube. If you like, then YouTube will promote this video to other people as well.
Yes, sir. Good.
Did you guys give me a like? Give me a like and comment also what you feel about that video. It is just 5 minutes video. I explained what is domain mapping.
Yeah, Ashok, one thing, the 30 days, I think Spring Boot one course you are sharing, right, in YouTube.
Yes,
That is, it is for, so do you have any separate course for that or it is free in the YouTube for?
That is just with interview kind of, within every video 1 to 2 minutes only. It is basically a series to revision the concepts of Spring Boot.
Spring Boot. So we have 30 days of video in the YouTube, right?
Yeah, already 4 days I have uploaded. From now, every day we will upload one video.
Okay, okay, okay. So is it possible to share that link?
Sure, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, still I did not see your likes.
I have liked it, sir, and commented as well.
Yeah, good. Remaining people.
I have also done, sir.
Good, sir. Thank you.
Ashok, if we change anything in index.html, how we can re-upload the file to
Same
S3?
file you can re-upload, sir. You can go there and whenever you are uploading the file with the same name, it will overwrite the old one. If you make some modifications to the file, you can re-upload that file in the S3 bucket. It will overwrite the previous file. All good. So with this, we understood S3 service also in our AWS cloud, and we discussed about Route 53 service also in the AWS cloud. Okay. So guys, what are the services that we lent in the AWS as of now? What are the services we have lent in the AWS cloud as of now?
EC2, RDS, S3.
Yeah, we discussed
EC3,
about one service called EC2. So what is the purpose of EC2 in the AWS, guys?
Creating the virtual machines.
Yes, it is used to create virtual machines in the AWS cloud. Okay, so whenever we are dealing with a project, for the project, so many servers are required. Docker server, Jenkins server, Sonar server, Nexus server, like that. So many servers required for our application. So those servers we can create by using EC2 machine. It is a pay-as-you-go model service. So T2 Micro free tier available monthly. It is giving 750 hours free of cost. Monthly 750 hours it is giving for free of cost. Then we discussed about RDS service in the AWS. RDS stands for Relational Database Service, which is used to create databases in the cloud. So we can also take one machine and we can install the database on our own. But if we install the database on our own, then the problem is we need to, if you install the database on our own, the problem is we need to take care of the database setup. We need to take care of the database backup, database administration. All these things we need to do on our own. Instead of taking that risk, we can take RDS service and we can map our application to that RDS, right? We can connect to the RDS database. If you go with the RDS, that is fully managed service in the AWS cloud, AWS will take care of our database administration part. Then we discussed about S3 service in the AWS. So it is for storage, guys. Unlimited data you can store in the AWS cloud by using this S3 service. Unlimited data you can store in the database by using S3. So in the project, S3 will be available, RDS also will be available. RDS is used for storing text data, database tables, rows, columns will be available. S3 is used for file storage, basically binary files, audios, videos, images, documents can be stored in the S3. Okay, fine. So whenever you want to store the data in the S3, you will create a bucket. Then one bucket, nothing but collection of objects. In that bucket, you can upload the object. For every object, one URL will be generated. That URL we can store in our database. Okay, and the next one, we have a service called Route 53 service is available. Route 53 service is available. So what is the purpose of Route 53 service, guys? Route 53 service basically is used for domain mapping. Route 53 service is used for domain mapping. Whenever we deploy our application in the Linux machine, by using IP address, we need to access our application. Okay, when we deploy our static website by using S3, a lengthy URL will be available for our application. So it is not recommended to give the IP address or lengthy URLs to the customers to access our website. We need to map our application to the domain name. So we need to purchase a domain. We need to map the application to the domain. For the domain mapping, we are going to use a service called Route 53 service. Route 53 is a DNS service in the AWS cloud. Then next one, we discussed about one service called IAM service in the AWS. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. So in the AWS, root account will be available and IAM account also will be available. For every team member, one IAM account will be created to work with the AWS cloud. For that IAM account, we can use console, we can provide the console access and we can provide the programmatic access also. Console access, nothing but, so they can log in into the cloud account and they can see the resources, they can create the resources and all. Programmatic access, nothing but through Terraform, through CLI, through Java projects, if you want to connect with the AWS cloud, then programmatic access is required. In the programmatic access, access key and secret key available in order to perform the operations in the AWS cloud. So these are the services that I have explained in the AWS cloud, guys. I hope you are clear with these services. EC2, RDS, S3, Route 53, and IAM. Are you clear with my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Are you clear with my point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And there is another service available in the AWS cloud, guys, which is called Elastic Beanstalk. There is another service available in the AWS cloud which is required for the developers, that is Elastic Beanstalk service. So what is this Elastic Beanstalk service? It is used to manage the web applications, end-to-end web application management service in the AWS cloud. Okay, so what is the meaning of end-to-end web application management? For example, if you want to deploy one web application in the AWS cloud, what we need to do, guys? If you want to deploy one web application in the AWS cloud, you create a security group. Then create a network for that. Create a network, then create virtual machines. Install required softwares to run our application. Install required softwares to run our application. Then create a load balancer, create auto scaling group, create load balancer, and you need to create auto scaling group to access our application. If you want to deploy one application in the AWS cloud, we need to set up all these things. We need to create the security groups. We need to create the networks. We need to create the virtual machines. We need to install the required softwares in our machines. And we need to create the load balancers. And we need to create the auto scaling groups also in our AWS cloud. Then only our application will be executed. So if you do this one, this concept is called infrastructure as a service, IaaS. AWS is providing infrastructure for us. Okay, so that means by using this AWS infrastructure, we can create all the resources to run our application. We can create all the resources and we can run our application. Okay, so create a network required for our machines and create the machines, create the network for the machines, create the machines. Okay, and install the required softwares, create the load balancers and create the auto scaling group. Then we can run our application in the AWS cloud. So it is a time-taking process. Guys. It is a time-taking process. So instead of we are doing all these things, what we can do is we can go for a service in the AWS cloud, which is called Elastic Beanstalk. We can go for a service in the AWS cloud, which is called Elastic Beanstalk. When you go for Elastic Beanstalk, what is the benefit? Whatever the infrastructure is required for your application, Elastic Beanstalk will provide. You just deploy the code. That is called platform as a service. Normally in the AWS, infrastructure as a service is available. Nothing but. So AWS will provide you all the resources. You take those resources and you prepare the infrastructure to run your application. That you need to do manually. But here the thing is, I am not interested to do all these things on my own. I want one ready-made platform where I can run my code directly. So I want AWS to take care of all the resources to require to run my application. I will just upload my code and I want to run my application. That's where there is a service called Elastic Beanstalk service is available, which will provide platform as a service. Elastic Beanstalk, which is going to provide platform as a service. What is the meaning of a platform as a service? So Elastic Beanstalk will provide you all the resources. You just upload your code and you run your code. So that's why Elastic Beanstalk is called as end-to-end web application management service in the AWS cloud. So this Elastic Beanstalk will provide platform as a service. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of platform as a service, guys? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of a platform as a service?
It's provide the automatic infrastructure for the
Yes, sir. It will take care of the infrastructure. So Beanstalk will take care of the infrastructure. We just need to deploy our code. Beanstalk will take care of the infrastructure. If you don't use Beanstalk, then you need to do all these things. You take one Linux machine, then you install the software, you create the load balancer, you create the auto scaling group, then you deploy the code, then you access your application. Instead of you are doing all these things, if you go for Elastic Beanstalk, that Elastic Beanstalk will provide the platform in order to run our application. That's why it is called PaaS service, nothing but platform as a service. So easily we can run our web application on the AWS cloud by using Elastic Beanstalk service. So what is the benefit with the Elastic Beanstalk service? We just need to upload our code to the Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, we just need to upload our project code to Elastic Beanstalk. Then it will take care of deployment and infrastructure creation. Infrastructure creation, nothing but resources. So the load balancers, the machines, security group, network, whatever is required to run our application, those things will be taken care by our Elastic Beanstalk. So it is end-to-end web application management service in the AWS cloud. In this AWS, Beanstalk provides platform as a service. Easily we can run our web application on the AWS cloud by using Beanstalk. So when we go for the Beanstalk, we just need to upload our project code to the Beanstalk. Then it will take care of deployment and infrastructure creation. So whatever the softwares that are required, Beanstalk is going to take care of that. Elastic Beanstalk will take care of softwares and the servers which are required to run our application. Okay, so Beanstalk will take care of deployment, capacity provisioning, resources, load balancers, auto scaling. Okay, so to deploy the Java application manually, we need to perform these tasks. To deploy one Java web application manually, we need to perform below operations. Create the network. First, we need to create network. Inside the network, we need to create a security group. Okay, once a network is created, in that network, we need to create the security group, then create virtual machine, then install Java software, install web server, deploy the application, restart the servers, create the load balancer, creating auto scaling group. Okay, so instead of we are doing all these things, instead of we are preparing the platform to run our application, we can use Beanstalk service to do these operations. So here, if you want to deploy any application, if you want to run any application in the cloud platform, then you need to do all these things manually. Okay, instead of we are preparing the platform to run our application, we can use Elastic Beanstalk service to run our web applications. So this Elastic Beanstalk is end-to-end web application management service. End-to-end web application management service in the AWS cloud. What is the meaning of end-to-end web application management service? Okay, easily we can run our application on the AWS cloud by using Beanstalk. We just need to upload our project code to Beanstalk. Then it will take care of deployment and infrastructure creation. Beanstalk will take care of softwares and servers which are required to run our application. Okay, it will take care of the deployment and all that part. And the Elastic Beanstalk will charge for the resources which it has created. Okay, so this one note. So Elastic Beanstalk will charge for the resources which got created to run our application. Okay, machines will be created, load balancer will be created, auto scaling will be created whenever you deploy the application by using Beanstalk. So whatever the resources which is creating to run our application, For those resources, the bill will be generated pay as you go model. For whatever the resources are there, for those resources, bill will be generated based on pay as you go model. So can anyone tell me what is the advantage? What is the advantage of going with this elastic beanstalk, guys?
Instead of configuring everything on our own, it would be available as a package.
Yes, instead of we are configuring all the resources, instead of we are creating everything to run our application, we can take the help of this one, elastic beanstalk. So this is end-to-end web application management service. If you just upload the code, then it will take care of all the things. If you just upload the code, then it will take care of all the things. So what is the meaning of taking care of all the things? Whatever the infrastructure that is required for running our application, whatever the infrastructure that is required to run our application, they will create that infrastructure. We just need to deploy our code. We just need to deploy our code. The remaining parts will be taken care by our AWS only. The remaining things will be taken care by AWS cloud. I hope you are clear with my point.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Fine. So can you guys do some research how to deploy our application in the AWS cloud before coming to tomorrow's session? Tomorrow we will see the practicals on this one. So can you guys do this before coming to tomorrow's session?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want you people to do some analysis on this part. How to deploy our application by using elastic beanstalk. Tomorrow I will explain the elastic beanstalk, and I will also explain what is lambda's concept in the AWS. With these two concepts, our discussion will be completed on the AWS, beanstalk and lambda. Theoretically, we understand what is beanstalk. Practically, we are going to do it tomorrow. So before coming to tomorrow's session, let's do some research on this part.
About TKS, sir?
DKS that we are going to discuss as part of our real-time tools concept. DKS is used to create a cluster.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashok, one thing, one request, Ashok. So is it possible to give high-level overview how the networking works? Like
Sure, sir. I will give the overview also. Yep.
Uh,
Day after tomorrow, I will tell you how the networking will happen in the AWS.
Okay.
Basically, VPC service will be available.
Yeah, like thing like private subnet, public subnet, that one.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Fine, guys. So with this, I'm stopping for today. We'll meet again tomorrow. So I'm expecting you people will do some research and you will try to deploy the project by using Beanstalk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.